Program, we like to interview people and look into what they're doing that makes a difference in our lives. I'm your host, CJ Metcalfe, and today I'm very excited to bring to you someone who's been on the show before. It is Isaac James of the Military Heritage Museum's Gulf Theater. They have brought us so many wonderful entertainment shows in the past, live concerts, live bands, great movies, and I am looking forward to talking with him and finding out what the fall lineup is on into the 2022 season. So, Isaac, are you ready to talk about what's going on this year?
Hi, CJ. How are you?
Hi. Tell me, I know you have some people, some of the bands, the groups coming back, which that's totally exciting because some of them were really good. And then you have some new acts coming in. So let's talk about the lineup that's happening this season.
Yeah, so CJ, we have an incredible lineup if you've seen it on our website. And we, between the executive director, Gary Butler, and I, we decided to also have a preseason fall series. And this series runs in the month of November. We have 3 shows. We have a Barbra Streisand tribute on November 5th, and Salute to the Veterans on November 11th on Veterans Day evening. And this is a tribute show as an American portrait of tribute to our veterans. And there will be a Neil Diamond and an Elvis Presley and a Kate Smith, and it's all patriotic music with a full band. And then November 19th, we have the History of Rock and Roll, which is the Johnny Rogers show, and he imitates Chuck Berry and a lot of the rock and roll stars from the 60s and 70s. And so that preseason fall series is in the month of November. And then our first show of the season is actually December 3rd. And that's with a almost nearly sold out show right now. And we haven't really done much advertising for it yet. And that's the Bob Hope Christmas show with the Girls of Motown. And Bill Johnson is coming back in from Las Vegas with a Motown group out of Naples. And they are going to be performing a USO style Christmas show the beginning of December, this is, I believe, our third or fourth time bringing Bill from Las Vegas. He's just a fantastic imitator of Bob Hope, and it's a well-loved show. And the month of December is really busy between all of the shows that we have, as well as our classical music partners that are coming into the Gulf Theater to perform as well.
I'm really looking forward to the Iman Disha show. She just made it on America's Got Talent, and she just is such a wonderful, youthful singer. What an inspiration she is to others to fulfill their dreams in singing. So that's going to be a wonderful show as well.
Yes, yeah, it really will be. The last couple of times it was unfortunately postponed due to the pandemic, and fingers crossed that it will happen this December. She has a fantastic voice, and I look forward to having her here at the theater.
I know that you have sold many shows or almost closed out as far as ticket sales go. Would you want to tell our listening audience as to what shows are getting down to the wire as far as getting tickets goes?
Yeah, so the big one right now is the Bob Hope Christmas show with the Girls of Motown. I only have about 20 or so tickets left. And it's very, very sporadic throughout the theater. Most of them, thankfully, are in pairs of 2s. But as you can see on the screen there, it's getting pretty full. The next show that is getting near a sellout is the Iman Disha show on December 10th. There's approximately 50 or so tickets left for that, but it's starting to fill up. The other ones are about 50% sold out. Rolling Stones, the almost ABBA, the ABBA tribute, the Beach Boys, Elton John, Journey. Those are all about 50% sold out right now. And just to warn your audience, I have not really done very much advertising. So as soon as I do, and that goes out into the print, out in print in the press, those tickets go very quickly. And so if you want your tickets, you might want to get them now, because here in about a month or so, those articles are going to start showing up in the newspaper, and a lot of the snowbirds that are coming down here, the middle of October, are going to start seeing those, and tickets are going to be going off the shelf.
Okay, listeners, did you hear what he said? You've got less than a month to go in and get your tickets if you're wanting to attend one of these shows. Now, Isaac, would you mind going ahead and explaining where they can get tickets?
Yeah, so if you go onto our website at www.golftheater.org and you click on Golf Theater tickets, you'll see the screen where you'll see the screen actually that you're seeing right now. And you'll see all of our shows as well as other organizations that use our box office. You can also click on Golf Theater season tickets. Now, there is season tickets still available. Those are dwindling down, but we've sold a lot of season tickets this year. It was a very big hit, and so we do have season tickets available as well.
So when they go in there and when they say, okay, I want to buy tickets to the Iman Bisha show, when they go in there, then it will show them the available seats.
Yes. So if you click on See This Event, which is going to pull up the page now, and then you click on the date, and then you can select seats from map, and then you can select any seats you want, and then after that you have to click on Add to Cart. Once you do that, you can click on Add, click another one, Add, or however many you'd like, and then you can check out from there. There is a few couple steps here that that you have to go through, but it is very self-explanatory. The system will email you your tickets. I can also hold them at will call for you at the time of the show.
And I noticed on that seating chart that there are different colors. What does that mean?
So we have premium seating and regular seating, and that isn't the case for all of our shows. It depends on the price of the show, but normally the first 7 or 8 rows or so is our premium seating, and that gets you within 7 rows of stage. Everything behind that is regular seating, as you'll see the cost in the top right, the top left-hand corner.
Okay, I noticed that you also have a section there for handicapped, which is down in the front of the theater.
Yes.
Are there any other options that someone could do? Because I know sometimes the handicapped people don't like to be down in the middle of the crowd, especially when they're exiting the theater or something like that. Another option that they could do?
There is. So it's sort of difficult to explain, but if you're able to go up any steps at all, you are able to get anywhere in row B or C in the first bigger section. But at the same time, you can go to the second floor after check-in and go through the top. And if you're able to just basically stay at the same level or go down a step or two, you can sit up near the back of the theater as well.
That's great. Yeah, so many of us have disabilities and aren't able to climb the steps in the theater. And having all those options available without losing a good seat, that's valuable. But tell me, Mr. Isaac, is there a bad seat in that theater?
There honestly isn't. The way and you can see the theater behind me, and in the photo there is a beautiful concave. It's a very nice steep rake. So the person's shoulder in front of you is about at your knees, so you can very easily see over the person in front of you or the person next to you, and it really is a perfect seating experience.
Well, and for those who don't get around that well, for you radio listeners, we're looking at a picture of the Gulf Theater and those railings that go up between the steps. That is an absolute wonderful help in being able to get up further in the theater and have a seat, because you've got that railing to hang on to, which is a blessing.
Yes, yeah, it was a must when we put them in. We had a few shows before they went in, and it was a little bit grueling for some patrons. But once they went in, it made for really a very easy experience to get up into the seating.
Okay, and something else, Isaac, I'd like for you to describe to our listeners is when people arrive at the museum. There seems to be some confusion on this. How do they get to the Gulf Theater?
So the Gulf Theater is located inside the Military Heritage Museum, right on 900 West Marion Avenue here in Punta Gorda, just a couple of blocks closer to downtown from Fisherman's Village. And as soon as you turn in, you'll see a sign for the Gulf Theater, but we have thanks to many volunteers, a fully staffed parking attendant and ushers for the season. And the parking attendants will tell you exactly where to park. If you have anyone with disability that needs to get into the elevator or dropped off at the front door, you're able to do that. For handicap parking, you may wish to come a little earlier, and they will, the parking attendants will guide you as to where to park from there. But all of the check-in is on the first floor in the lobby, and all the patrons have to check in before going into the theater. It's very important for us to know who comes, who doesn't show up, or who forgets, or whatnot, just so that we have record of that. But all of the check-in, the parking attendants will guide you to that in the first floor atrium lobby.
I'm sorry, you probably heard the drum roll coming, but we've got a second round of this COVID thing coming up. Oh, and what is the theater doing to help the patrons deal with this COVID, this variant that's coming out? What are your steps that you're doing?
So as of right now, we do not have a mask mandate. I cannot guarantee that it's going to be that way for the upcoming season. I don't know yet, and I think it's far too early to call. But I will say this: last season we were very good about our masks. All of the patrons were fantastic. At the museum, we fog sanitize the theater before and after each event. We have a fog sanitizer that puts out a chemical that is made actually for COVID-19 for sanitizing. We also are good about washing down our railings, our the armrests, any door handles, and we have hand sanitizer stations everywhere. I am fully vaccinated, and a lot of our patrons are vaccinated, and I think because of that, we're seeing an influx of a lot more ticket numbers go up compared to last year because of that very reason. I think people are a little bit more comfortable to go out because of that. And of course, Charlotte County has a nearing 70% vaccination rate, which is really good to see. And I would say 95% of our patrons are from Charlotte County. So that's a comfortable number, at least one that I'm comfortable with. But again, I can't guarantee that there won't be a mask mandate for the theater next year. There could be, there might not be. I just think it's too early to call at this point.
Well, I know like some of the cruise ships, some of the large gathering areas, that they're like requiring you to show that you have been vaccinated in order to sit next to somebody in like a theater setting. Any idea about if that might happen? Since you are a private entity, you can call your own rules, right?
Yes, yeah, we can. I wouldn't. I don't think I could possibly make a comment on if it could be or could not be without further looking into it with our executive director. And I think right now the numbers are a little bit too early to call. I am looking at the CDC website, and they are estimating that Florida will probably peak in the middle of September. So by November, early November, December, those numbers may go down. I'm not sure yet. So I think once it gets a little bit closer, we'll make those decisions.
I know last year the Gulf Theater made some major improvements in their theater. Would you mind going over some of the things that you have done to enhance that theater?
Yeah, so thanks to a generous donation by a board member and a local Air Force veteran, we were able to fully renovate the main stage area of the theater. We have brand new stage lighting, brand new line array speakers, a sound system. We were able to take up a lot of the carpet in the theater, which is why it now has really amazing acoustics, and put down a nice concrete metallic floor as well as a nice maple hardwood floor on stage. We were able to put the railings up that you see behind me. We were also able to make a purchase of a fantastic semi-concert grand piano that is really perfect for the space. And I'd like to make a little bit of a segue, if you don't mind, about the acoustics. A lot of the tribute bands and whatnot that come through here, the acoustics doesn't really make too big of a difference. However, with a lot of our partners that the Gulf Theater and the Military Heritage Museum has partnered with as of recently, it really does. And I'd like to bring them up for a second because, the Gulf Theater isn't just what we bring to you, but also what we rent the theater out to others as well. And we have the Southwest Florida Symphony out of Fort Myers. We have the Grand Piano Series in Naples, and we have the Gulf Shore Opera also in Naples. All of these are nationally recognized organizations run by, one of them is run by a Juilliard concert pianist. They're very, very high quality organizations. And we are bringing between 10 and 15 shows or performances into Punta Gorda that are all classical music. Charlotte County really does not have a lot of chamber music. And with these three organizations, that is exactly what we are supplying. I have been in the very back row, you can see behind me, without any microphone, without anything, with just the piano on stage and a couple of stringed instruments. And you can hear the crystal clear, smallest faint notes. And you could hear them so well. The acoustics are that good in here. So just a shout out to those three organizations. We are very, very proud of our partnership with them and are looking forward to having them here in Charlotte County. And you can go to their websites. That's the Grand Piano Series in Naples. That is the Southwest Florida Symphony in Fort Myers, and the Gulf Shore Opera in Naples. And those performances start in November as well, with going into December and then through the end of the season.
Oh, that just sounds wonderful. It sounds all that much more reason to go get more tickets. Season tickets are really a bargain. Isaac, give them information of season tickets versus purchasing individual tickets.
Yes, so we have a season pass, and unfortunately, it's not unfortunate, but we're getting to the point where there's so many seats that are sold that you can't really have the same seats for the entire season. In the very beginning, we sold a lot of season tickets where people did that. But I can select the best seats for each of our shows between December 3rd and April 8th. There's 15 shows, and the price for one season ticket is $464.99. And that allows you that, and you can sit anywhere in the theater. That isn't just regular seating or premium seating. That's across the board. You can have the best seat in the house, or you can sit in the back and have a bird's eye view of the theater itself. So that'll save you approximately $210 if you were to go through and select an individual ticket for each show. And so it is, and I think a lot, I can't remember how many season passes I've sold, but it's been a lot. And I think a lot of people have seen the value in that.
Yes, that sounds like the bargain to me to get. I want to go back on something that you said, and I just want to clarify it for the patrons, that in between shows or before a show, at some point, with as far as sanitizer goes, the staff at the museum, they actually fog the theater, as well as wiping down all armrests. So when a patron comes in for a show, they can start out fresh and clean if they wear a mask on their own. If they have any sanitizers of their own that they like to wipe their arms or anything with, they're welcome to. But you have definitely taken the first precautionary step, and I think that's important to elaborate on.
Yeah. So the middle of last season, of course, well, actually, the beginning of last season, we purchased a fog sanitizer, and our janitor goes through and sprays that mist into the air, and it covers everything. And that chemical has a 99.6 or 7% kill rate for COVID-19, and it was specifically made for theaters for sanitizing them. And so it really does. To me, I want to be sure that all of my patrons are comfortable and they feel comfortable coming here. We have had now the golf theater never shut down during COVID, and I think that's an amazing fact. A lot of organizations and theaters shut down, and a lot of patrons were left without anything. And we a little bit bold, but at the same time, we made sure of two things. One, that our patrons were safe. So we had a mask mandate already in Punta Gorda, and we made sure that we had hand sanitizer stations, that people were socially distanced, and we were still able to put on every single one of our shows. And at the same time, we still provided that entertainment for them. And it was the best of both worlds. It was risky, but I will tell you this: I asked, and I every time I was on the phone with someone that was curious or maybe a little bit anxious to see what we were doing, if anybody ever got sick or got COVID, to please let me know. And I never had one phone call, one email. I'm not saying that no one got COVID from coming here, but I certainly never heard from it.
Isaac, I want to thank you so much for coming on and sponsoring this part of our show. I appreciate that very much. We love you for making this show happen, so thank you. And we will have you back to give us a further update.
Perfect. Thank you so much, CJ, for having me on.
CJ signing off. Thank you.